Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my sketchbook. Welcome to InkTober. A special hello to the otters of Seaside Park. It is the 22nd day of October, which is happy birthday to Lucas. Let's get started with the timer here. Open up the inkwell and get the pen here. So, the prompt that we're using today is button. So let's see if that'll focus there well enough. Now, last Friday, I actually got to hold on to this controller for almost 20 minutes. So I really did take some time and look at it to try to figure out a couple of things with it. So it is within recent memory. So I have a pretty good idea what this thing looks like. It is covered in buttons. It was a cool vintage thing. It's been a while since I've held one, actually, but yeah, like I said, I kind of looked it over a little bit too, so I have a rough idea of what this thing looks like. When I was a kid, we managed to get one of these things. It was like a few years after it came out. So I wasn't deprived the joy of playing the Nintendo Entertainment System, which, now is 40 years old, which is kind of cool and kind of weird too, because, well, I guess that makes me old. Anyway, pretty fun. A lot of those games, though, I still probably think they're pretty decent to play. This just kind of popped into my head. There was this thing that was called, we didn't call it a Konami code back then, but we thought it was like a cheat code of some kind. It was like up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, or BA, or whatever. Then you hit start. And the whole trick with using that was that if you were fortunate enough, so let's say you're playing like Mike Tyson's, Punch Out, or was it called Knockout? Anyway, you'd play these games and you might get an extra life. You might get, I don't know, like an easier mode of play. So it was kind of like a cheat code. And yeah, no, that was kind of fun. It didn't work for all games. And eventually there was like this thing that came out. It was called like a Game Genie. I'm trying to remember some other part of this. Ooh. Anyway, so yeah, you'd borrow games from, your buddies, or you would, what were some other things that you would do? I think for the longest time, though, some of the best games were like, there was a Scrooge McDuck game. There was I think it was called The Noid. It was like this character that was on like a commercial for Domino's Pizza. Anyway, kind of ridiculous. So let's see here. In some way, I'm sure what I'm doing now, this might be considered kind of like faking something or other, because I drew all the buttons first rather than draw the square or the rectangle controller. So it saves me the hassle of trying to make everything fit inside first. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have been able to come up with the shape if I'd drawn this rectangle bar thing first and then tried to fit everything inside. So, let's dip the pen here. So not exactly perfect. Let's say it's kind of like this. It's mainly black, but above this, oh, you know what? I think it says like, okay, there's 3 sort of gray bar things above that. And it's in here where it says like select, and then this was the start on this side. Not that that matters too much. And then this was mainly black over here. The directional pad is also black, but I want it there to be arrows shown. Over here, I think it is black, but there's like, these buttons are red, and it's either here or here. So like, anyway, maybe it's in the center. So this is the B, this is the A, and it says like Nintendo over here. But it's in red, and then the rest of this is all in black. Oh, that's not really helping anything out right now. But yeah, that cheat code eventually became known as the Konami code. So Konami is the same people that would have come out with like Metal Gear, which is probably one of my favorite games that you would get on the PlayStation now. But Metal Gear for Nintendo was kind of like almost like a side scroller, but not really. It was not a side scroller. What would you call that now? There's another name for that where like Contra would have been a side scroller. I think this was a top view game from what I remember Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear being in those days. And I'm pretty sure that they borrowed heavily from movie posters to make the graphics on the cover of the game. How it was corded though. How much time do I have left here? I got 2 minutes left. Okay. So I think it came from roughly about here. Something like that. We're going to go back and behind our good buddy Toad. It was so much fun, the home entertainment thing. I remember my cousins had, I'm pretty sure it was like, it would have been a specialized machine, but it was like an Atari with a Coleco adapter, or it was a deep, no, it was like a Coleco with an Atari adapter or something like that. And that was pretty cool. Yeah, so there you go. There's buttons there. Let us put in 22.Button. So that's simple enough. How much time? 35 seconds. So not tons of time. I am going to get out my paintbrush here. A little bit of water. Although I don't know why I'm doing this now. I'm just going to fill in some of the little light marks. Now, I put a little bit of tape over the sound holes on the timer, so it shouldn't be as loud, but it will still be probably kind of startling here, and we're almost ready to hear it. So hopefully that's a little bit better. There you go. Clean the brush. Put the cup away. And that's it. That is the prompt for the 22nd day of Inktober button. And that is a controller for the Nintendo Entertainment System. That is it for now. Thanks for hanging out. Come back again tomorrow. The prompt then will be Firefly. And yeah, have a great day. All right. Ciao for now.